freeze up.
No!
Are you sure this is the way?
They have landing trackers. They have patrol squadrons. You've got to stay in the canyon. Keep it low.
On the right! There's a 26% chance of failure.
How much further? I don't know. I'm not sure. I never really come this way, but we're close. We're close. I know that.
Well, now there's a 35% chance of failure.
I don't want to know. Thank you.
I understand.
I got to step inside the room where you sort of do a costume fitting for K-2SO, and there's like a mirror that just reflects K-2SO. What does that do for your performance?
It was great. I got to do the sort of the void, right? That's you know that square before we started the movie, and ran around and tried running, and just sort of walking and looking at how he gestured, how he just standing, because he has that hump on his back, that standing straight, it didn't look like he was standing up too straight because he still has that part of his body gave him a casual air.
You've done so many voices that I am then later learn is you, and I'm so surprised because they're so different. Did K-2SO come to you immediately, or did you have to figure out what he sounded like?
No, we tried a few different things. One was just me. One was a version of me. And then one was sort of a way of talking, which is the proper way of talking. Like if you were a machine, how you would hit every word and everything. But then as quickly I wanted to do it with an English accent. And Gareth was luckily like, absolutely, because there's been, there have, C-3PO is English. A lot of the Empire, a lot of the people in the Empire have English accents, and since he was originally in the Empire, it made sense.
I like the Foghorn Leghorn version, but that didn't fly. So I just it was good.
I'm K-2SO, I say. I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
That's what I was pitching.
Doing a lot of chopping, but no chips are flying.
I feel like one of the amazing things about Star Wars as a franchise is that it is a big toy box that so much of the world loves playing with. Looking behind the scenes here, it strikes me that one of the neat things about ILM is setting things up so that filmmakers can just play.
Oh yeah, we're trying very hard to give directors a lot of freedom to tell stories kind of in any way that makes sense dramatically, and not to have any technical limitations on that. So one of the fun things about this for me was this nice mixture of trying to show things that are new, bring something fresh and different, but to have a little taste of the familiar, and the way the film sort of butts right up to New Hope, that over the course of the film you're starting to see more and more elements that, wait, where's this going? This is going right up to, it's ending right at the beginning of New Hope. That was a great deal of fun, and kind of a fun challenge to design aesthetically new things that feel like they belong in that same universe.
Now that this film is out, I'm curious, during the process where you have to keep everything top secret, do you pay any attention to fans posting with theories?
Yeah, we keep an eye on what's out there, if anything. Unfortunately, it has leaked. We don't want to spoil it for everyone. So I think everybody here is pretty good about keeping things confidential and not spoiling the fun surprise for folks. But every once in a while I would look and see what people were saying on the Reddit threads.
But you have a fantastic sort of Star Wars origin story where you pitched a sequel to the original Star Wars at 12 years old.
Well, pitched is a very strong word for it. I did send a letter to Lucasfilms with a big idea for what the next film should be, and I got back a very kind, personally typed letter from Bunny Alsop, who was Gary Kurtz's assistant at the time, on this very cool Joe Johnston letterhead. Ralph McQuarrie letterhead. Joe Johnston letterhead would be cool too. And it was sort of crushing at the time, but then later, I kept the letter, and then later I looked at it and thought, that's cool. It's actually from the producer's assistant, because I'm sure they were getting thousands of letters like that. So,
what was the idea?
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Forget the letterhead.
I'm still holding on to it. I'm going to pitch it to Kathy next week. And no, it's I don't know. It was some terrible, at that time everybody still thought Luke and Leia were a romantic interest, so it probably involved them and
They can still get
the
back
kids
together.
they now had, or something awful. I was 12. I was 12, but yeah, I still have a letter. George,
cool.
I had George sign it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So
We don't know that isn't what's coming up in these next movies. There's so many coming up. What happened to that camp out there
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere? I don't know. Spoilers.